there is a stereotype for African Americans. The criticism is we don't read. Teaching them, okay, but if they don't value it, why should we value it? 18% of Black students in Oakland are proficient reading. 75% of Black boys in California really can't read. Many of our educators want to focus on social justice in the era of Black Lives Matter, and we're looking at the long-term view of social justice in America, especially towards African Americans. They want to focus on that. They want to focus on teaching people about their culture and their history. And they see it almost as either or. I'm either teaching them how to fight the power, or I'm teaching them how to read. But I'm curious to know how you see it as a Black man. How do you see the relationship between reading and social justice?
It takes reading to understand the common denominator of social justice. And the common denominator is justice. You have to break that down, because it's a two-part word. Social being, everything that you're influenced by, everything that's around you, and then you have the word justice. Once you get to the root of the common denominator of justice and apply your social surroundings to what your definition of justice is, then you create. See, so many times, Kareem, I think we're given what things are supposed to mean. And all we do is we take what things mean to everybody else and feel like it's the right meaning. And a lot of times we're misled because we never applied it to our lives. And when you get to dealing with social justice, social justice, for one, there's no color in justice. And I think that although the intentions are good, educators, because they're also caught in the mix of social justice. And as they're trying to educate our children, they actually promoting social injustice, because I believe in self-preservation. We've been dealing with social injustice in the Black culture and the Black community, but at some point, people won't start to take you serious till you take yourself serious. And not to break subject, but I was at one of the worst prisons. No, not one, the worst prison in South Carolina, in the worst dorm. And I'm talking about when I got into the environment, every time they opened the doors, somebody was getting stabbed, somebody was getting raped, somebody was getting robbed. I went into this environment and I took a game of Scrabble and I changed the whole environment. We was on what you call 23-1 lockdown. And when you come out that hour, I got these hardened killers, hardened gang members, people whose heart is hardened. They rushing out. Now, they're not rushing out to see what's going on. They rushing to try to beat me at Scrabble. And a lot of times, results come from people that you respect. Whatever reason you respect them, your biggest results comes from somebody that you admire, that you respect, that you look up to, that you can identify with. And for months, I came out and, I would just come out and I'll sit in front of the TV on the bench and just sit the Scrabble game down, and I have people standing in line playing Scrabble. And it actually opened up for reading. You was talking about statistics of literacy in the Black community in California and Oakland. But did you know that statistically, The average incarcerated man reads on the 4th grade level. Now figure that into the statistics. You know, you putting people that's been away majority of their lives back out in communities, and they can't navigate their way through reading. Your work, I appreciate it because I've been, you know, in a small section of society, enclosed, you know, around people who just couldn't understand, whether it was, you know, the law, whether it was the rules, and a lot of people was tricked because, you know, ignorance ain't on your side. And sometimes you just have to be downright real with people, you know, and let them know, because you can scream, I made a mistake all you want. But when it comes to justice, justice don't leave room for ignorance. When you're ignorant and illiterate, it kind of tightens the cuffs, because, you know, if I can speak to someone and I can talk over their head and all they can do is nod in response and never understand what I'm telling them, then in some ways I'm pulling their strings,
right?
Because they'll agree to anything.